Hello all and welcome to Movie Bears Podcast TV. I'm Brad Harris, and now and then when our crazy schedules will allow, I get together with some pretty awesome friends to talk about something I love very dearly, and that is TV in many different forms. As usual, when we get a chance to broadcast MBP TV, I'm joined by my co-host, Casey Scott. Welcome, Casey.
Hello. Aloha. Every other language. Hello. I don't know that many other languages. I'm sorry.
That's all right. That's all right. We get the point, I think. And Stephen Heslin is here with us as well. Welcome, Stephen.
Hello, everyone. It's been a long time, and I've been itching to talk about so many things with you guys. So
ooh, itchy!
Can't wait to get started. I know it's itchy. It's giving me hives. I've been talking so much.
Oh no!
Have you got chills that are multiplying?
Yes.
Oh my goodness, we didn't get to talk about that nonsense either.
I know.
That live thing. Oh my goodness.
We talk about it now, but oh my gosh, we have so much to talk about tonight already.
Yeah.
We're going to be discussing the finale, like it, love it, hate it, whatever, of The Walking Dead. We'll also be catching up with the newest episodes of Survivor and talking about a new show on Hulu starring Aaron Paul of Breaking Bad fame called The Path. But guys, let's dive right in. Here's our thoughts on The Walking Dead. All right, so we're just going to come out and say it. Spoilers are fair game. Yes. We're going to spoil the shit out of this episode. So if you have not seen it yet, why are you even watching right now? I don't understand. Right. But if you have seen it and you want to know what we think, we're going to tell you. But we also want to hear what you think. So leave us a comment, and we'll be happy to read them on the air as long as they are mildly appropriate.
And we do stress mildly.
We do. But let's do this. Casey, why don't you kick us off? So what were your thoughts on the finale? Were you let down? Were you like, oh my god, this is so great, don't let up? Like, what's your feeling here?
Well, I guess I should preface this. Okay, so I forget where we left off when we last talked about the show, but I feel like it was in a really good place. Like we were feeling confident about where it was going and everything. And I think before the finale, there was already some divisiveness about the episode where Carol and Maggie were taken hostage by the women, and it was basically an all-woman episode, the women of the Saviors, and I really loved that episode. It made me feel a lot of different emotions, and that's something that I like it when the show is able to do that. And it left me with a really bad taste in my mouth. But it wasn't an unpleasant bad taste in my mouth. I was like, okay, this is. It was kind of made me feel like the Look at the Flowers episode. It was like, oh my gosh, the show goes to these dark places, and I can appreciate when it does it and it does it well. But then it seems like the show decided to crap the bed after that. Like I don't like. That was sort of the beginning of the end for any promise in Carol's storyline. I think that's gone in a direction that I don't like, and I was hoping it wouldn't go in. I get the struggle that she's going through. I mean, I don't personally get it, but I understand what they're trying to do with that characterization, and they're trying to. And this is something that when they got to Alexandria, and Deanna was doing the videotape confessions of everyone, I was hoping that would lead to some psychological explorations of what they felt about everything they've gone through up to that point, and it didn't do that. So now it feels like they're doing it all on one character rather than exploring everybody's individual problems and thoughts on what they've been experiencing in this apocalypse. So the Carol thing was, I don't like where it's going, and it was arguably the weakest part of the finale for me, because it just it didn't go anywhere. It kind of ended on an interesting cliffhanger note where she and Morgan are kind of saved by this new group that kind of look like they're from 70s Mad Max or something. Like they have their gear on and their horses, and I'm like,
and they have matching outfits.
Yeah, I'm like, is this like an 80s Italian post-apocalyptic movie? Like this is really that's a genre that I love. So I was like, this doesn't mesh well with this universe that well. But I'm interested to see where that goes. But for a 90-minute finale, a whole lot of nothing happened, and it really didn't need to be 90 minutes. It was, and the fact that the characters were basically driving around in this big clunky RV and driving around in circles basically, and with no idea how to get where they were going. It's very much emblematic of the show at this point, where it's like it's clunky, it's heavy, it's very character heavy. And it doesn't feel like it knows where it's going. Like, it finally got to an interesting place, and then it completely crapped the bed.
Yeah.
I think it's so interesting that you say that, Casey, because I was thinking the same thing as I'm watching it. I'm like, what a perfect metaphor for what's going on with the show right now, right?
Yeah.
Like, there's all this tension, they're going somewhere, they get there, and then it's like, oh, we can't go that far, we can't do this, turn around, let's pull it back, right?
Right.
So,
it's
yeah.
I think, and I think the big fan outcry, I would be hard pressed to find anybody that loved the finale. I think I've come across people that have liked it and not hated it. They've said, well, I get what they were going for and it wasn't terrible, but I haven't found anyone that loved it, because I think that it was really just thoroughly average, and I think the cliffhanger kind of ruined it. As you know, we meet Negan, who there's been a lot of anticipation for him, because I firmly blame the people who've read the comics for this, because they've been like, well, Negan's coming, you guys, it's going to be awesome, it's going to be awesome. And like, even people like me who haven't read the comics are like, oh, okay, we're looking forward to this very intriguing character, and it's going to be a horrifying entrance and everything. So it's really been a big build-up for this mythical character. And he shows up, and he did exactly what I feared the show would do, which is this is the thing that bothers me about the show, is that sometimes they will make ballsy moves. They will kill a child. They will destroy a whole family in the
30 seconds.
Premiere, in 30 seconds.
Right.
Like, they will do ballsy things, but they will also do really shitty things to their fans, like the Glenn nonsense from earlier this season.
Right.
And this was another example of that. Like, I was not like, ooh, I can't wait to see which character gets brutally murdered. I was not anticipating that, but I wanted the show to make a decision, to have the balls to choose which character was going to die and stick with it and just deal with the fallout. And instead, I think the fallout was worse because they didn't make a decision. Instead, they just decided to like dangle this, promise of a character's death over the fans.
Well, wait a second.
And
We totally know who he killed, Casey. He killed the cameraman. Come on.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, well, they had to get rid of it. Yeah, that's a tradition, I guess.
We
don't know about. Yeah, every season a crew member has to get killed, and they just decided to do it on camera this time. I think we know it's not Carl, because he says, if I hear anything, I'll rip the kid's other eye out or whatever. So it's not going to be him, because obviously he's leaving him and his other eye alone. If it's Aaron, I'm going to set fire to the rain. I'm going to be very upset because, I really love that character, and Denise's death was enough. That was devastating for me enough.
We haven't even talked about that.
I know, because exactly. I mean, we knew it was I knew it was going to come eventually, because she's kind of too big a name, so to speak, to be on that show. On a damn Emmy. So, and I knew it was going to be temporary, but I did not expect her to go in such a devastating way.
Yeah,
and in such a stupid way, because she's their doctor. So it's like, are you fucking kidding me? Like, people don't think you have a pregnant woman back there. You know that she's pregnant and she's going to need all the help she can get. You take this bitch out for no reason, and then she gets killed. So it really, it was not good writing. It was emotionally effective, but it was just not wisely done.
So I want to go back to what you were saying about Negan, because for me, like, I am a comic reader. I love the comics, and this is something that I was really looking forward to. And while I wasn't like, you guys, just hold on, the Negan thing is going to be amazing, I didn't do that, because I had no fucking idea if it would be. The show was up in the air.
Right.
For me personally, I was like, man, if I can just get through kind of the dip, right, the lull, and get to this, I think it's hopefully going to get better. And actually, the normal lull that we have mid season wasn't there as much for me. I felt like it got so much better. I love the introduction of the Jesus character, getting to the hilltop. I'm like, oh man, this is great. I love it. But we finally get to this confrontation, and it's like, man, I remember a time when this show did not pull punches.
Right.
When they fucking killed Andrea or Dale or, Herschel or Beth. You know what I mean? But we don't do that anymore. Like, it started with this whole Glenn fake out in the first half of this season, right? Right. People online are saying, obviously, Glenn won't die this time because he has plus 12 dumpster armor. So
that bought him an extra life, basically.
Right, yeah.
In gaming terms. Yeah.
Right. So here's the thing. In the comics, and I won't mention who dies in the comics if you don't know. I don't want to.
On the show. We talked about it off the air.
Yeah, we talked about it off the air, but for anyone who watches the show but doesn't read the comics, I'm not going to say it. Okay. But what I will say is Negan just shows up, brutally fucking like murders this person, and then it's like mic drop, see you later, bye, like it's done, right? And like that's the end of that book, and I'm just left sitting there for a month, like, holy fucking shit, did that really just happen? Like, you know. But I feel like the show has robbed the Negan confrontation of so much of its power by doing this stupid, like, oh, eeny, meeny, miny, mo, who's it going to be? Oh, guess what? You're not going to find out till fucking October.
Right.
I think they were hoping to.
Are we going to care? I mean, that's the thing. It's like the momentum is gone, and they're not going to open on that scene. They're going to open and have it be some kind of poetic thing with Carol and Morgan off, or the preacher and the baby. Like, they're not going to answer the questions because they like jerking us off. It's
so
and not in a good way.
Exactly. They're gonna, in a bad way.
They're going to leave it dangling. And I think what they were trying to do was ratchet up the suspense and have people like, oh my God, best cliffhanger ever. But all it's really done is just fucking piss people off. Like, there are so many Walking Dead apologists out there. And typically when I read reviews of an episode, I kind of roll my eyes a little bit because I'm like, come on, we can do better. You don't need to defend these bad creative choices. Right. This time, reading the reviews, like universally, like even people who are like champions of The Walking Dead are like, holy fucking God, what the fuck was that shit?
Right.
Like, this is not the show. You know what I mean? So, I don't know. I mean, I enjoyed it. I think it could have been an hour instead of an hour and a half.
Yeah.
I think it would have been way better if we would have gotten some closure on what happens with this Negan thing. But overall, well, Steven, we haven't heard a lot from you yet.
I mean, you guys are kind of echoing a lot of my feelings. I mean, number one, them killing off Zoe. I'll just say Zoe. I mean, it was just so. It was just so senseless, and I just kind of felt like there were a lot of shows I was watching where they're just like clipping people's wings. And I felt like this was another one where, especially what they're doing with Carol also, I was just like, that's just, again, I echo what Casey was saying, is that if I get what they're trying to do, that, hey, she's not a cold-blooded sociopath, she has some emotions and some ups and downs. Great, dedicate one episode to it, fine. But let her get back to being badass Carol. That's who the character is. Right. And again, I don't know if they're just following a script that's in the novels, the graphic novels. I don't know if this is already sort of in the works or if she morphs into something else. But if it is, I just don't like the comics because it's just like I just don't like what they're doing with this character, and it's not the Carol that I know. It's not the badassery that I know. I liked the fact that in the season finale, you saw how big this Negan army is, and I liked how they peppered it with, like, here's a few guys, here's 10 guys, and here's 20 guys, and they kept on cutting them off at every pass, and you get this helplessness, sort of like when they were trapped in that container. It's like, how the hell are they going to get out of this? But leaving it at, smashing the camera, I totally agree. It's like, that's not a cliffhanger. Like, that's just bad. That's just mean. That's just mean. And it's now we have to wait. It'd be one thing if it was a mid-season finale, but it's the finale of the season. We're gonna have to wait, 4 or 5 months, whatever, 6 months until it comes back, and it's just. I agree with you guys. It's like I don't know. I'm not gonna care as much then, and so it was just poor. It was just really slow, and then also there's been this season-long build-up with Morgan about like how he doesn't kill people and how he, he saves the wolf guy and every life is precious, blah blah blah. And somebody's threatening Carol, and it's just like boom, 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 boom. It's like, oh, I guess your morals weren't that strong. Like, come on, like, it just was weird. It was just, I don't know. There was just so many weird things, and it just kind of left a sour taste. It's just like this season started off so strong, and I was like, all right, we're back, and then it just, like you said, Casey, it crapped its pants or crapped the bed or crapped something. It was just crap.
You think like Ryan Murphy got a hold of the show or something. It's like starts strong, goes downhill very quickly.
Yeah.
Oh, that was totally apparent when Carol was singing that number by herself, walking through the woods. She's all like, "Oh, by myself."
Yeah.
Right.
So, but yeah, so that Carol thing, Steven, it's interesting that you bring that up, that Carol Morgan dynamic. It seems like such an abrupt switch for Carol to suddenly go from super badass to, oh my gosh, I'm so guilt-ridden and distraught over the kills. Like, in the episode where the female saviors have her captured, I actually thought she was playing the little mouse.
I thought the same thing. I thought she was doing that thing where it's like, oh, I'm just demure, and she was waiting for the right opportunity and was going to slice their necks open. But
well, I think she was initially, and then I think that conversation kind of flipped something in her that
I don't know. I feel like she
so long. Yeah, it wasn't. I don't think it was. Yeah. I think it was an act to begin with. I mean, grabbing the cross, totally an act. Like she doesn't give a shit about the cross. Like that was totally an act. But something flipped in that conversation with Alicia Witt, who was so good in that episode. And I'm bummed they killed her off too. It's like, damn it, you introduced another interesting character and then you kill him off.
Right.
It's like, oh, okay, all right. Yeah. This is the routine.
Imagine how cool it would have been if they could have gotten her to come over to their side.
I would have loved that.
Or wouldn't that have been interesting?
Yeah, I mean, I think that would have been great. I'm all for more strong women, especially since Michonne's been basically neutered.
Oh my god!
Now that she's part of Michonne. Yeah, exactly.
Literally, now that they've cut off some of her braids, right?
Yeah.
She's no longer whole. Anyway.
But it's like they clipped what's his name? Norman Reedus. Daryl. It's like it's just. I mean, I get you have to have these lows to get to the highs, and you have to have your heroes in danger to create the drama. I get that, but it just seems like it's gonna be. It seems like there's gonna be this Deus Ex Machina, because it's like they're so underwater. There's no real way to get out of this.
Mm-hmm. Right.
Yeah. The only thing you do is basically run and abandon Alexandria and leave the people behind who they fucked over. Which is funny because a lot of fans are finally putting it together. Some of us have realized this forever, is that they really are the bad guys because every single group that they meet and touch, they completely fuck up. Like they are the ones who lead to all these random people that they meet getting killed and whole groups of people being wiped out. It's just you guys are the bad guys. And I think that was what I liked about that Carol episode where she was like, you guys are not the good guys. It's like, yeah, you're not, because you broke into this group completely unprovoked, murdered them in their sleep for no reason because of some story that you don't even know if it's true or not. It was just so that totally, they have no moral high ground to stand on. And
I actually was cheering for Negan a little bit because I'm like, you know what? These people deserve this.
They kind of do, and that's why I wanted Rick to get it. But it's not going to happen. Rick is beyond redemption at this point, so I can't root for him.
You know what I think the perfect masterstroke this show could do to set it apart from the comics and spin it in an exciting direction would be? Fucking kill Rick Grimes.
Yeah, I was thinking about that. It's like he's not above, he's not invincible, that would turn the show in a completely different direction,
Yep. Let's kill Rick Grimes and have Maggie become the new badass, but smart, sensible leader.
Interesting. Yeah. A woman leading? I don't know. What about the fan base of the show? How many of them are?
Hey, Hey, as long as you put her in some like Daisy Duke shorts with some like
she did get her hair cut.
Yeah.
You know, I think they'll be okay.
As long as she doesn't have a baby popping out of her cooter, she'll be fine. Exactly. It's like, yeah, she can't be hot if she's a mom, so yeah. Guess it's good she got a miscarriage.
Could be the walking MILF dead, you know.
Oh my god. Please no.
You could say her character's a little MILF toast.
Oh, God.
Oh, that was rough.
That was awful. Hey, so on that note, guys, believe it or not, we actually have 2 more shows.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
How are we feeling about zipping forward into our next one here?
Let's do it. I think we've spewed enough hate.
Yes, let's kick this dick into the dirt and move on to Survivor.
I don't know where you get that phrase from.
I don't know either.
The dick into the dirt? Like, I don't know.
I don't know where I heard it either. It's probably the South somewhere. I don't know.
All right, here we go. Our discussion of Survivor. So we had a couple of friends staying with us. Well, not staying with us. They were staying in Tucson, but hanging out with us quite a bit last week. They're big Survivor fans. And one of them, Sam, from Kansas, sounds just like Jeff Probst when he says,
"Oh, really?
Survivor." I made him do it on command 5 times. It was hilarious.
Nice.
I'm like, is Jeff Probst in my living room? Why is he not wearing a blue shirt? It was really funny.
You should have recorded him and included him in that little bridge moment with the music. That would be
great. They're moving here. I may have to do just that.
Just make it a regular feature of the show then when we talk about Survivor.
Totally. We'll just have Sam pop up and be like, previously on Survivor.
Yes, that's a great idea. I think.
All right. Well, Steven, take it away here. Spoilers, totally fair game.
Yeah.
What are we feeling at this point? What do you think?
I think it's the thing I'm feeling most about this season is just anger towards the show itself. You know, it's not about the characters this season. It's about all the people that are getting taken out from, medevac. It's just getting ridiculous at this point. I mean, I guess technically it's only been 2 people, but I just feel like they're being irresponsible for some reason, more than any other season. And I guess that's the survive part of it. But, in this last episode, we had Ice Cream Man get taken away. And, not that I loved him or want him to win or anything, but he was at least... We didn't really get to see him play fully. He kind of just started to strategize now that they merged. And he gets taken out over a bump on his knee that it's like, you gave the other person antibiotics. Couldn't you give him antibiotics? I know it's dangerous, but I don't know. It felt weird. But, I think it's now, for some reason, I feel like it's just now getting to start to get kicked into high gear. I feel like the strategy's now starting to come together. Ty has part of an idol, and now they know that what's his name also has the other half of an idol, so they can form a super idol. But then they told that doofwad model guy, Nick, about it, which is totally stupid because he's going to stab him in the back the first chance he gets. I just don't like that guy. I see Nick going far for some reason.
So smarmy.
Yeah. But yeah, it's interesting. It's just weird. I don't know. I feel like hopefully there's just no more
medevacs.
Yeah.
There's one more that's scheduled.
They talked about.
There's supposed to have been 3 this season. So there's
wow.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous.
Yeah, that whole thing, I think, because there was a lot of kind of fan speculation, well, why did these other people get antibiotics and he didn't? Well, his was, festering and open, and that's where the infection can start and spread, whereas theirs were not. They were just raised.
Yeah.
And so, and that's why it was and that's why him saying well, I could lance it, and I was just like, dude, no, what are you talking about? That's the problem. No, don't lance it because it's not supposed to be open. That's the problem because that environment. That's no. It's not a clean environment to have an open wound.
Yeah. I get it. It sucks.
Well, it especially sucks because the entire episode was building up to that tribal council, because there were several idols in play, and there were different groups who felt like they were in control, and then all of a sudden it was very much like the Walking Dead finale, actually, where it's like all this build up, and then it's a total crap the bed moment. It's like, wait, seriously, you're gonna show up now before tribal council and do this? Why don't you do this after tribal council? Can we just see who gets kicked out? Maybe Neo will get kicked out and he won't need to be medically evacuated. Like, I just want to see the tribal council and see what happens. It was a bummer, and so many people that I've drafted as winners have gotten rid of. I'm so bummed that Anna was kicked off. That really pissed me off, especially because I had in my head the perfect chess moves to keep her and keep her for the merge. I was just like, wait a minute, why did you not get rid of Peter, because you knew he was going to flip anyway? And then Julia would come back, and then you would be strong to take out the two brains. Like, I don't get it, but whatever. I'm bitter about that. She was my winner pick. So
How many people do you guys have left?
I think I only have one.
I'm trying to remember from ours. Because I'm doing one with Will, Mr. Lindis from Movie Bears, and I think we're about even. I think we each have 5 left. I think we each have 5. I forget how many are left now, but we're about split evenly. I have to check our draft and see.
Yeah, I don't think we've been updating.
I haven't checked it. Yeah, I haven't checked it since. I think it's since Anna left. I think, because I was like, oh, well, there goes my winner pick. Okay, I was just like, I'm out. I guess I don't remember who else I picked. I forgot to write them down.
I know I still have 2. I have Scott and Aubrey.
Oh, okay.
Caleb was medevaced, unfortunately.
Oh, yeah, I saw that, and I was like, oh, Brad's pick is gone.
I know. That
was insane, by the way, because we didn't get to talk about that. That was the most horrifying thing I've ever seen on Survivor. It was just like, oh my god, 3 people could possibly die on camera.
Yeah.
I was just like, and I don't know if you guys know this, but apparently this location is the one that a French version of Survivor shot on, and a player actually did die.
What?
Oh, wow.
A player died, and they had to cancel the season, and the doctor that cleared him or whatever killed himself because he felt so guilty and awful. So it was like a double fatality from this location. So don't go back there, CBS. You saw 2 seasons there. You got lucky with Cambodia, where nobody was seriously injured or hurt, but I'm surprised that they even shot Cambodia there after this season, because this was shot first.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's bad. Bad news, Bears.
Yeah, it's cursed. It's a cursed place. You got bugs in ears. You got you got infections. You got not good.
All right, let's update this draft real quick. I got the document up. So Steven, you had Peter, who is gone. You have Nick, who is still around.
That's true.
You had Ice Cream Man Neil.
Yeah.
So your only horse left in the race is Nick.
Aww. The douche that might go far.
Yeah.
Right?
Well, it's one of those things, like, I picked these people, like, based on not knowing them, and then, like, once I got to know them, I'm like, oh, I don't like that I picked them, but maybe they'll go far.
Right. Yep. Casey, you had Anna. Of course, she's gone.
Aww.
You had Alicia, who is gone, and you have Kyle Jason.
Okay, so I still have 1 left in the running, and he might be gone. You know, if they're gonna let these 2, if they're gonna let actually these 3, Sydney's really flying under the radar. But if they let Jason and Scott get that much further, they're really stupid, because we're talking individual immunities, and these Brawn guys are gonna start really bringing it. So
I think they're going to kick, if they were to pick between the 2, I think they would kick out Scott before they would kick out Kyle.
I think so.
Because Scott has more strategy, I think.
Well, and he also has money already. Yeah. So I'm really shocked that has not come into play this season.
Right.
In the history of Survivor, that's always brought up, and I'm not sure why this hasn't been yet. So.
But then again, when you want to bring him to the end, because nobody would want to vote for him.
That's true. Right. But then that would be so miserable to watch, because I really don't like him that much.
Yeah.
So I know Jim and Will are not on the episode with us, but we'll just update for them real quick. Jim has Sydney, who's still around. He has Ty, who is still around. And he has Julia, who...
Wow, Jim's doing really well.
He's doing amazing.
Wow. Amazing. Oh my gosh.
Will has Michelle, who is still around. Elizabeth, who is gone, of course. And then he has Debbie, who is still around. So.
Yeah.
Oh God, so funny how they change her job title every single time.
Every other time
So
she
funny.
talks.
Yes,
Yeah.
that's great. Where she's like, "Well, he could be a model," and I know about that because I've been a model for years.
Yeah.
Debbie, part-time model.
Right,
Like,
right.
Oh God. Actually, have you seen her Model Mayhem page?
No.
I have not.
She has a modeling page so that she can get modeling gigs. If you go,
I
to
want to see as
If you
little
do-
of her as possible.
Yeah.
She doesn't have a bad body. It's like a butter face.
She crazy though.
She is crazy. I loved her going up to Ty like, "So I like you. Let's be in an alliance." Well,
Right.
I don't know.
He felt
yeah.
so bullied.
Basically, it was like, "Oh, this is why I don't like women." It was like you could see in his eyes, like, "Scott, where are you? Come on, save me from this crazy woman." Yeah, and he was like, "Well, I really wanted to be in an alliance with the Merge," and she's like, "You're in an alliance." She was like strong arming this dude, and I was just like, "Oh, Debbie,
Debbie.
Debbie."
Yeah.
I think the elements are getting to her. I think she's going a little overboard. Yeah.
Well, it's interesting. So we're all merged now. It's all individual immunity. I'm definitely interested to see who our final 5 are going to be.
Yeah.
My fear is that Scott and I know his name is Kyle Jason, but doesn't he go by Jason?
He goes by Jason.
island?
I always just call him Kyle because I refuse to change that. I called him Kyle pre-merge. I called him that when I drafted him in my
Gotcha.
draft. I'm
Gotcha.
calling him Kyle.
Have you guys ever known like a really nice Jason?
I never have known a nice Jason.
Not with that spelling of the name. Not really.
Yeah.
I know a Jason with a Y who lives in Mississippi who's a sweetheart, but
But Jason. Like I'm trying to think about it. I don't think I've ever known a nice.
Actually, I'm totally lying. I just had to give some shit. I know several nice Jasons. So I know.
I think I know 2.
I know a Jason in Austin, Texas. He goes by Chops. From the Iron Bear. He's amazing. I know a Jason from Westminster, Colorado, who's amazing. I know a Jason in Phoenix, who's amazing. In fact, it was just his birthday the other day. Happy birthday.
Oh.
Are you looking at your
I
Facebook
need to
friends
meet some nice
list?
Jasons
I
because
totally am.
I remember being bullied.
How do you know all these Jasons? I need to look at my friends list. I know I have at least 2 on there, but I never talk to them. They're nice, but I don't know them.
Oh, yeah.
Sorry, guys,
Yeah.
if you're listening, but I don't know. You well. Let's change that.
Yeah,
Right?
exactly.
Right?
Let's bring
That's just
Jason
me.
back.
Right.
Oh, goodness. Oh, goodness. Well, guys, we've got more Survivor goodness coming up tomorrow night, and we'll be back again next week because the scheduling gods have, knock on wood, blessed us in their favor, and we'll be back next week. So
and
maybe
isn't Game of Thrones the week after? No, the Game of Thrones is the 24th, so it's...
Yeah, it's the 20... So if we take a week off and then come back, I think we'll be lined up with Game of Thrones action time.
Yeah.
So... And I need more Khaleesi in my life.
Exactly.
So I'm looking
Hopefully
forward to
that story goes in an interesting direction. I don't really give a shit about her getting captured by randos.
Let's hope so.
I'm just like, really? I don't care about this.
Spoilers for fucking Game of Thrones. The very first episode, she's the one like white girl with all the Dothraki. And now, guess what? She's the one white girl with all the Dothraki all over again.
Wow, yes. Oh, my God. The great
this
white
time,
hope. Yeah.
This time she has her motherfucking dragon nearby, so maybe Drogon will swoop in to save her. I don't know. We'll see. But, guys, let's shift gears. We want to finish up with our discussion of The Path. So Aaron Paul is back in this new Hulu original show. Casey, you had mentioned this one to me originally. What on paper kind of drew you to it, and has the show kind of matched the expectations you may have had?
Yeah, I went into it with not super high expectations, but it's Aaron Paul, it's Hugh Dancy, it's Michelle Monaghan. Michelle Monaghan gets a really bad rap. I'm just gonna put that out there. I think she's a really good actress. I just don't think she gets cast in a lot of great roles. I loved her on True Detective. I know a lot of people didn't like her character, but she was good as in that character. And I liked her in Gone Baby Gone and a few other things. I was excited about it because it was about the big, the word on the street about it was, well, it's this drama about an organized cult and about dissent within the ranks, and that's basically what the pilot is. We meet Aaron Paul, and his wife is Michelle Monaghan, and she has been born into this sort of cult, which has been led by a guy named Meyer, and he's led by Keir Delay from 2001: A Space Odyssey and a bunch of other interesting things. He's been around for years, and he sort of has a vision. He goes on this trip to Peru as I think it's like an outreach part of the cult, and he kind of has this drug trip where he thinks he sees something that would hint at the Emperor having no clothes, so to speak, in terms of this leader of the cult not being this all-powerful, all-knowing person. And then he starts to question the validity of this life that he's been leading with his wife and his children and surrounded by these other cult members. And so Aaron Paul is basically the dissent. And Michelle Monaghan thinks he's having an affair, and so that developed some tension between them. And then Hugh Dancy is sort of a higher-up figure in the cult, and this is the one thing I didn't really care for, is this love triangle is developed between them, because Michelle Monaghan used to be romantically involved with Hugh Dancy, but she chose Aaron Paul, who was new to the cult or whatever. It's not big love quality. the last show that was kind of about a cult, sort of. I mean, Mormonism isn't a cult; it's a religion, but it sort of followed the whole separate sect of the Mormon religion that are very into polygamy and and have sort of cult-like existence, sort of off the grid. This isn't really as good as that. I don't think the writing is as strong. Aaron Paul is very good in it as usual. I think Michelle Monaghan's good. The first episode's promising enough. I will probably keep watching it for 5 episodes, but I didn't love it. There are a lot better shows that I've been watching, and this is at the bottom of my list of stuff to, keep abreast of.
Yeah, I gotta. Speaking of breasts, we saw breasts.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was like, oh my god, Michelle Monaghan popping your top. I didn't hate that.
Like, whoa. Yeah, this one for me. I mean, I like Aaron Paul quite a bit. Loved him in Breaking Bad. I even liked him in that racing movie he was in a couple years ago.
Was it Speed Racer? No, Need for Speed.
Need for Speed.
Need for Speed. That was it. Yeah. I know it was a crappy movie, but I liked him in it. This show is interesting. I don't know if it's something. I don't know. I have the Brad Harris 5-episode try. But right now, guys, there's just so much fucking good TV to watch. I'm behind on House of Cards. I haven't even started Daredevil. I haven't even started Daredevil season 2 yet. I have episodes of Legends of Tomorrow, 4 episodes of my DVR. I don't know when I'm gonna get to watching more of The Path. Maybe I'll let it build up and then binge watch it over an afternoon. That might be a little easier. I don't know that I'll watch it week to week, but I'm interested to kind of see where it goes. I grew up Southern Baptist, which obviously isn't the same thing as sort of this cult, but I grew up in a very small farm town where, everybody has the same religion and everyone's drinking the same pastor's Kool-Aid until it turns out he's a big old child molester and the whole town is in crisis.
Oh my god.
True story.
Oh my god.
True story. Yeah, it was crazy.
Girls. That's horrifying.
He came to school one day for parent breakfast day. They made breakfast for everyone. He made me heart-shaped pancakes. I should have known. I should have known.
Oh my god.
Yeah. Anyway, but anyway, the whole reason I bring it up is I know what these small communities that are sort of bought into this sort of polarizing religious spiritual figure. I know what that can be like. So it was actually a little uncomfortable for me watching this show and seeing some of that kind of play out. I also know what it's like to be sort of in the audience and not drinking the Kool-Aid,
Right.
surrounded by all these people who are, and it's like, oh my God, do I pretend so that I can fit in, or do I like hold my ground? You know what I mean? Like, it's a crazy spiritual Sophie's Choice. You know what I mean? So I think the show is good. I want to see where it goes, but again, I may let it build up before I keep going. Steven, what about you? Is it grabbing you at all?
Not at all. It's not a bad show, but it just was so slow, and like within the first 5 seconds, I knew what the plot. It's like, oh, he's having doubts about the religion, and then it like took 45 minutes to get there, and it's like, oh, come on, it's pretty obvious he's not cheating, he's having doubts. Come on,
right?
And so it just seems like, it's just sort of like what's the secret? What's the secret? No, we all get it. We know the secret.
We already know. We read the synopsis of the show before we watched it.
Yeah, so it's
we already know this.
Just blow your wad and move on. And just let's get into it. So it just. I also like the whole time. I mean, Aaron Paul's a good actor. I'm not saying he's not, but he's got the breaking, that effect where it's like all I can see him in is Breaking Bad. So like when he was describing, I was having this bad time in my life. I was like, were you selling crystal meth? And then you met this teacher. I expected him to start describing that story, and I'm like, oh, okay.
I was like, did you love Diane choking on her own vomit, maybe?
Right. Yeah. And then like when he opens the door when he was in Peru, I expected to see Walt, there standing there going like, what's my name or something. It's like, it's too soon, and I know that's a horrible thing to say to an actor, but it's like, I just feel like he needs to do something. Maybe this is completely different. I just think like maybe he needs to wear a wig or grow a mustache or something.
Oh my God! He has a full beard. What are you talking?
I don't know. It's just like
he needs to dye his hair. He needs to bleach.
Wear glasses or something. I don't know.
Wow.
But
Steven can't deal.
Oh my God! He just can't even.
I can't even.
Steven can't even.
Oh, I love that.
Can we make that a segment of the show? Steven
can't even.
Oh my God.
Hashtag Steven can't even.
Steven, if you ever do like your own like blog or something about all the things you hate.
But yeah, exactly. It's just a weekly show of like, I can't even.
I can't even.
Hashtag Steven can't even.
Exactly. That needs to become a new trend.
Yeah, I think so.
I like that.
Oh, goodness. Goodness.
Meme.
Yeah, but there is too much good stuff on TV. I mean...
Yeah, and I mean, that's the thing. It's like our DVR is full. Like, we've got like 30 minutes left on the last episode of this season of House of Cards. I binge-watched Daredevil Season 2, which was great.
I'm so jealous. I
haven't binge-watched anything on Netflix in forever, since Orange is the New Black Season 3. Like, I haven't finished House of Cards Season 3 because I hated it. I haven't finished Daredevil. Like,
this season's much better, by the way.
Is it? Okay,
yeah.
I've heard that, and I'm just like, and as my brother said, you need to plow through Season 3. And I'm like, do you know how difficult that is? You want me to sit through this thing and wade through this nonsense with the Russian guy? And I just don't care. I don't care. But I've heard it goes in great direction, so I need to get on top of it.
It does. I think they did a really good job sort of recuperating, because I agree, Season 3 was like, oh.
It was rough.
Yeah.
It was roof stoof.
Yeah.
So Casey,
too much good TV.
Casey, your punny response to House of Cards could be, Casey, don't spacey.
Oh,
I do Spacey. I love Spacey. I like him better in the E-Trade commercials at this point than I do.
Yeah. Oh, wow. That's pretty crazy.
That's cool. Crazy. Yeah. But that show Underground is on with about the Underground Railroad, which is great. Outsiders is good. Outlander is coming back. So, like, this is really low on the totem pole for me, even though, it's Aaron Paul. And the cast is great, and the concept is interesting. It's just not gripping me like these other. The Family's really good on ABC right now. Like, there's too much good stuff on right now.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, and more good stuff is coming back, right?
Exactly.
Yeah. Well, not Fear the Walking Dead, but yeah, Game of Thrones.
Well, skipping that, right?
Unbreakable Kimmy Schmidt comes back in a week. I'm excited about that. Yeah.
So, guys, real quick, I just wanted to let you in on something that I just got a notification about from one of our listeners.
Oh.
So, one of our listeners, Jeffrey, just sent us a link, and I'll put it in our chat. Apparently, there is a fan petition to AMC to reveal online the cliffhanger ending of The Walking Dead.
This goes with the theory that they actually shot the ending. I thought that they did, but they might not have. So they might not actually have anything to reveal.
Yeah, they may not. They may, not have actually made that decision yet. Who knows?
Yeah, they might. Yeah, exactly. They might have done the complete pussy route and not shot it at all.
Do you guys think that they might deviate from the graphic novels and choose someone completely different?
I kind of hope they do, and I hope it's a much more major player than who dies in the comic books.
I have a theory that it's Eugene because he had his last goodbye moment and he gave the recipe for the bullets to Rick.
But they could be leading you on to that.
True. Right. True. They do that.
All I know is that if it's Aaron, it's over. It's over.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. You cannot kill the only gay man left on the show that we know of. Jesus is not out yet, so he does not count. That does not count. And Aaron,
maybe he's not even gay in this universe. Who knows?
It's possible, Yeah, they might completely fuck his character over. So,
maybe.
Yeah.
But, we'll see. We will be discussing Fear the Walking Dead. Yes, everybody, this is
a tail behind your shoulder.
Say hi, Poe. Hello, Poe.
Poe, anyway. Like Edgar Allan?
Like Poe the Kung Fu.
Uh-oh.
Oh, like Kung Fu Panda.
His audio cut out.
Your audio cut out, girl.
We can't hear you, girl.
We can't hear you.
Is that Hangout saying our time limit is up?
How about now? Can you hear me?
Now we can hear you. Okay, there we go. Okay.
I don't know what happened. That was super weird.
Yeah.
That was super weird. But we just got a live comment from Felipe, a big fan of The Walking Dead and, of course, our show.
Hey, Felipe.
Hey, Felipe. He says, according to several actors from the show, they themselves do not know who was killed, and they won't know until shooting begins.
Because I think Taylor Riggs tweeted that, I think, last night or something.
Yeah.
I don't know. And I was like, okay, so they didn't shoot it. So there really isn't an ending to reveal. Because they are pussies, and they will not make a decision. Yeah.
So fuck you, campaign, to get the ending released.
Yeah, because you're asking for nothing.
Right.
You're asking for them to go and shoot an ending right now and then give it to you. So if you want to pony up a couple million or whatever, go ahead.
Yeah, exactly. All right. Well, Steven, I know time is tight for you and for me too. We need to adjourn until next week. We'll be talking about Fear the Walking Dead next week, and we'll figure out what else we're going to talk about. Yeah. But thanks for joining us this week, everybody out there in listener land. We'll see you next time. Take it easy. Goodbye.
Thanks, everyone.
Bye, guys. Enjoy TV.
I get such a thrill whenever you do that, Casey.
Enjoy your TV.